Welcome back everybody. So in today's video I want to share my thoughts on GoPro 9. I've had the GoPro now for approximately two and a half weeks. I've used it here and there, and there's some things I do like about it, and some things I found just a bit concerning, especially when you're moving from your previous versions, right, to the new GoPro 9. And let me just say, if you're looking for technical specs or video comparisons or anything like that, this is not the video for you. In this video I will go through the normal user experience, what basically most people do, right, is point and shoot and get the video off to your PC or the phone, and then maybe do some editing and so forth, right? It's not for the to go through the features or to go in the depths of the camera itself. GoPros, as you probably know, one of the best cameras, action cameras on the market, right? You can take them just about anywhere. They portable, they relatively light, and they just work, right? So, and most people, like myself and a lot of others, will not really use most of the features of the camera, right? Will basically take the camera, on a family holiday, into the pool, etc. Point, shoot, make a video, and forget, right? So, in this video, I want to talk about the user experience, right? So the basic user experience, what it is, how it feels, etc., right? And let me say, if you're new to GoPro and you don't own a GoPro right now and you're looking to buy one, just go right ahead, get the 9. You will be perfectly happy with it, right? It's a great camera, it works well, no issues here at all. However, if you are moving, if you own GoPros right now, right, there's a bit of a decision to be made. Should you buy 9? Should you move? Or should you just stay with your current GoPros, right? So, obviously, as you can see, the GoPro 9 is slightly bigger, right? So it means it has a bigger battery. So the previous batteries don't work. The previous, if you have a dual battery chargers, they will not fit the new battery, etc., right? So if you're moving up to GoPro 9, you will have to get the new chargers, new batteries, new cases, etc. If you're new and you're going ahead straight to 9, you'll be buying it anyway, right? So it is, from my experience, it's good to have the dual battery charger, a couple extra batteries, or at least one, and that's really all you need to to use it. Another few things that I've noticed over the usage, right, and it gets a bit confusing. I wouldn't say too confusing, but it does, try to press something else. So if you're moving especially from GoPro 6 or GoPro 7, right, the battery location, right? So on GoPro 6 and GoPro 7, the battery is at the bottom, so you just push this and the battery opens up. Relatively easy. I think it's kind of spring loaded. Push the wrong button. So, and it works. On GoPro 9, the battery position is actually on the side here, right? So no longer at the bottom, but from the side. And to open it, you actually have to pull this little ledge here. You pull it up and then you have to lift it up, right? So, and to close it also, you pull it out and you kind of lock it in place. So in that respect, right, getting used to, and I've had these cameras for years now, right, getting used to the battery at the bottom, it's kind of quite often to change the battery, first thing you do is you just flip the camera upside down and look for the button, and it's not here, right? But I guess with time you get used to it. So not a biggie, but a little bit of annoying bit and pieces, right? The next thing is the power button, right? So the location of the power button has moved. So as you can see, if I take the cameras like this, the power button is here. There's no power button on the side because it's a battery case. So the power button is actually on the other side. So that's another thing when, you know, when you're used to something being located from one side, when you go to click, especially on this one, you go to push, bang, there is no button. So you'll just have to keep reminding yourself that the button is actually got moved to the other side. So that kind of the basics operation. The other thing I've noticed, right, and this probably was on the last one, was the GoPro 9. So all the cameras with GoPro, or GoPro Heroes, the one I own, they have quick capture function, which basically means you push the record button, it turns on by itself and starts recording straight away. First time when I went and tried the 9, it actually didn't record, so that feature was disabled. Not sure why, if it's something to do with my initial setup or something. I've done some Googling and people saying that it is enabled, but it's, you know, in my case it was disabled. It's relatively simple to enable. You just go into settings and enable the feature, but that didn't work. So make sure if you are moving, just check it out and just make sure you don't try to record and it actually doesn't record. So that's on the, you know, sort of overview of the cameras. The other bit, and this is more for the accessories, right? So obviously the holder, you know, you can see there's no holder on GoPro 9, and I think that started with 8. You have a ledge here. What it feels like, it actually feels a little flimsy, to be honest. The camera itself feels great, but this bit, I mean, it just doesn't feel sturdy as on the previous one, because on the previous ones you would use this case, right, and you would plug the camera in, right? So you would put the camera in, you lock it in. So size wise it doesn't increase really the size, but it does offer a little bit of a protection, you know, to the case of the camera, which this one no longer has. But also the clip itself, it's obviously fixed, right? So that one feels a lot sturdier. And what I've noticed, if we take, you know, one of the GoPro sticks, right, and we'll plug it in, it's a bit more tighter. I'm not sure why. So we'll just plug the thing in, lock it in. What I've noticed is, right, also it actually moves a little bit, right? It might not be much, but I don't know if you can see, right? It's currently not straight, and you can see you can actually move it, you see? So what happens is, if you know, normally if you have it on this case, right, you can just pull it out, push the button, and you have a straight video straight away. Here you always have to make sure that the camera is actually aligned straight, otherwise you probably will have a slightly sideways video, right? So, you know, obviously if we take it on this one, right, it's, you know, it doesn't move anywhere, right? So it's always, you know, parallel, and it's all up to the way you hold it. But with this one, it actually does have a bit of a move, so that's kind of an annoying bit here as well. So otherwise, I mean, the rest of the features, you know, if you are moving up or thinking of going from, you know, 6, 7 or 8 to 9, you know, if you're an average user, I would say, you know, looking at the footage that I've taken over the weekends, etc., you know, there's probably, you know, not much difference. You know, obviously this one supports 5K, this one 4K, but, you know, 5K video is really not support much anywhere else, natively at least. So, you know, even with GoPro 6, right, which is now quite an old one, you know, for an average, it just works fine. To be honest, you know, if I wasn't in love with GoPros, and you know, I usually use 1 or 2 cameras at the same time, right? I would really consider going, you know, not going to 9, because first of all, as I said, the batteries are not compatible, so I had to get a couple extra batteries for myself. Also, the lens is slightly bigger here, so all the covers that I have for the lenses, etc., is not compatible. And you know, a few annoying bits and pieces that you have to learn. And you know, if you have, as I said, multiple cameras and you're using a couple of cameras at the same time, you know, you always tend to, you know, look for buttons. It's just no consistency, right? Because like from 6 to 7 and previous versions, I think they were more or less consistent. With 8, they moved to this one. So if you're having an 8, you probably don't have much of a, you know, different experience to 9, but from 6 and 7 you do. And in that respect, right, I would say, if you have a spare, you know, $300-400 to go to 9, go ahead. I mean, it's a great camera. If you think, do you need to, or you're contemplating, if you do, I mean, I think, you know, if your 6, 7 or 8 works, stick with them. They absolutely fine. And if you're new to the GoPros, then just, you know, and you're thinking of buying your first GoPro, just go right ahead and buy 9. I mean, there is no issues with it. Now, the other test I always do, right, and this is something which I think is important, is how fast does it turn on and starts recording, right? In 9, there is a feature now where it can pre-record, so you can actually, so you don't miss the shot. However, that feature drains the battery, right? But on average, right, let's say if we were to push, you know, 7 and 9 at the same time, which one will actually start up and record first, right? So we'll push it in 3, 2, 1. So let's see which one will come on first. So 7 comes on first, started recording, and then 9 came on, right? So, and we've turned it off now, and you see it's powering off, and 9 powered off faster. So then 7 is still trying to power off. Not sure why. There might be a delay or function setting, but the power off is not that important. It is because, you know, it's still, you know, you've got 30 seconds or 15 seconds of battery usage. Now, if we compare to 6, right? So obviously 7 was faster here, but let's look at 6 now, right? So we'll do the same test in 3, 2, 1, and see. They're relatively the same, right? So 7 obviously has a little bit of an edge, right? And powering off, let's see, but powering off the 9 is better. So I'm not sure if this one is actually, you know, fully powers off, or it goes sort of in a standby mode. The screen is definitely not responding, but you see 6 as well, there is obviously a delay on power off, right? So I think from my perspective, right, when you're with a family, you know, if you're not a hardcore, you know, camera usage and you're not using all the functions, you know, point and shoot is probably the most important function you'll use. You just want to get the camera up and running fast. And, you know, as we've seen in tests, you know, 7 is slightly faster than obviously 6, and obviously faster than 9. How much difference does it make? I don't think it does much. I mean, you can, you know, especially for the family photos. So, what can I say overall? I love the camera, right? I do love the camera. I also do find few annoying bits, but I think, you know, for the camera, for the quality of the camera itself, I think I can live with them. My only concern is, you know, with this ones, you always have a case, right? A plastic case, which basically protects the camera from, you know, scratches, dings, etc. with this one you don't. So, you know, in the long run, I'd love to see how this one stands up to the beating that you will put them through, right? You know, lying in bags, falling down at airports, etc. But let's see. So what can I say? If you're moving from one of the older cameras, right, and you know, as a family camera, just, you know, something to have with your kids in the pool or when you're going outdoors, you know, if you feel like it, go ahead and upgrade, but you know, you won't see much difference. If you're new to the cameras, if you're new to GoPros and you're thinking of buying one, you know, just go right ahead and buy 9. You will not regret it, I can assure you that. So that's it for now. If you liked the video, please subscribe, give us a like, and we'll see you all soon again. Thank you. Bye.